I'm in Darwin speaking with Suzanne Spunner. Suzanne is the author of the highly successful play Running Up a Dress, which is now being published in book form by McPhee Gribble. Suzanne, tell us something about the play, firstly.
Well, the play arose out of two main threads, I suppose. The first was an interest in sewing and how it affected the mother-daughter relationship. My mother had been a great sewer and sewed for all her three daughters, and I'd always been interested in sewing. And the second thread was really having children of my own and reflecting on and realising how much how much sort of folklore, I suppose, my mother had imparted to me about having children. And I found myself some years ago putting together a scrapbook about having children, a scrapbook that I primarily put together as a present for my mother. And when I was putting these images together, I suddenly found myself sewing them together, and it immediately struck me that that was another very strong connection between my mother and I, that sewing. And it was out of those two threads that the ideas for the play came, and ultimately that became an interest in how one becomes a daughter and how one becomes
And now Suzanne McPhee Gribble is going to publish the play as a book.
Yes, I'm delighted at that, because McPhee Gribble have never published a play before, and I believe it will mean that through their association with Penguin, the book will get a very wide distribution, which can only be to its advantage.
Well, in that case, will it look simply like a printed version of the play, or will it look different?
No, in fact, it will look like a very lavishly illustrated book. On each page of text there will be line drawings and diagrams taken from 1950s pattern books and sewing guides, and I think that...
Okay.
And where do you see the main audience or market for the book?
I think obviously it will be 50% of the population is potential, that's to say women, but in addition, as was the case with the play, I think the book will appeal to men as well, in particular young parents, because that's really what the second half of the book and the play is about, what it is to become a parent. And we certainly found with the play that was part of the play that definitely appealed to both men and women. We also found with the play that even the first half, which is very much about growing up as a girl, being a daughter, that many men responded to that very positively and found that if it hadn't happened to them, then it had certainly happened to their sisters, or they'd seen their mothers and sisters engaged in these sort of conversations and activities.
Well, finally, Suzanne, what are your thoughts about the marketing and the sale of the book?
Well, I have actually got some ideas on that, because I think it's an unusual play, and for a play to be published in this fashion is unusual, and I think that could be seized upon in its marketing. I'd actually like to see the book displayed in bookshops, not just amongst plays, but amongst books on child rearing, amongst books on women's work, and in a general section as well, if that were possible. I think that potential is there. I also think it'd be interesting to see if it were possible to market the book through sewing and craft shops, so it's sold alongside pattern books, because I think it would then get through to an audience that possibly doesn't see themselves as going into bookshops on a regular basis. I'll leave that challenge to you.